Hello everyone and welcome to CourseWeaver's authoring tutorial videos for the LON-CAPA system. These videos will be focused exclusively on the authoring system built into LON-CAPA and will cover all of the basics. Head on over to your login page and let's get started. The authoring environment in LON-CAPA provides a space for instructors to create any type of content that they wish to use in their courses. This area is incredibly flexible and intentionally independent of any one course so that it frees instructors to use the same content across any of their classes and allows them to easily share their content with fellow colleagues. As you can see, the author role is independent from any one course, which means that you'll be creating all of your content for each of your classes in the same authoring space. Let's enter the space and see what it looks like. To get started, let's look at the three options that pop out at us. Actions for current directory, upload a new document, and create a new directory. But before we get started, we need to keep one incredibly important idea in mind. The structure of your files and folders and anything that you add to the author space needs to be thought through very carefully and hopefully done right the first time. The reason being that once things are published, the authoring space doesn't allow you to move files and folders around. Essentially, you can move things and delete things while you're preparing them for use, but once they're published, you can no longer move them. LON-CAPA does this intentionally so that there are never any dead links to content or problems. Don't worry, even when content is published, you can still edit it. Let's get started adding a new document. LON-CAPA can handle any file type, which allows you to upload anything from your computer to the author space. Let's do an example. Let's click on Choose File. Now I already have an image prepared, so I'm going to select that, and then we click Choose. When we're ready, we finish by clicking on Upload File. Right away, I have a chance to change the name, file type, and lastly, upload. Once finished, I can view my file or head back to the directory. I'm going to head back to the directory so I can see what it looks like. Now we see my image contained in my author space with a few options beside it. From the pull-down menu, we can copy, rename, move, delete, publish, clean up, and even print, which allows us to easily manipulate and move around our content if they're not yet published. We can also edit the metadata. This allows us to change things like the title, the author, the subject, add in keywords. This also allows us to choose who's going to be able to access our content and who's going to be able to edit our content. And we'll get into that more later. For now, I'm going to click Save. I'm going to follow the breadcrumb trail back to my main directory. Before I get started adding anything more, I should probably think through my organizational structure and start adding folders to contain all of my content. LON-CAPA calls folders directories, and to add one, we jump to the Create New Directory area. We click on Select Action, New Subdirectory, and then we give it a name. I'm going to call mine Practice Problems. We click Go, Continue, and this brings me directly into the subdirectory, and I can follow the breadcrumb path to see where I am. I'm going to jump back to the main directory where my image is stored. In order to move my image into the subdirectory I just created, I'm going to do this by renaming it. I click on Select Action, Rename, and then in front of the file name I add the directory where I want it to be placed. So I'm going to type in Practice Problems and then a /. Here I'm essentially creating a URL where this image is going to be located. When I'm done, I click OK. I confirm, and we can now see that my file has moved. If I head back to my main directory, I can see the file is no longer there, and when I enter my subdirectory, Practice Problems, I can now see that my image has been moved. Let's finish by publishing our image. We do this by clicking on Select Action, Publish. We once again see all of the metadata and can make any changes we'd like. We finish by clicking on Finalize Publication. However, remember that once something is published, it can no longer be moved or deleted, but it can still be edited. So let's click Finalize Publication, and we can see our confirmation. If we return to our subdirectory, We see our image. We see its status is now published. And when we clicked on Select Actions, we can now see we can no longer move our file. As a brief recap, you can add anything from your computer to the author space using Upload New Document. You can add new folders by clicking on Create New Directory, then choosing Create Subdirectory. You can move your content and edit metadata using the Actions pull-down. And lastly, remember that once you publish something in LON-CAPA, it can no longer be moved or deleted. However, it can still be edited. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you have any questions, please contact us at info@CourseWeaver.